Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt confused? Not shocked, not surprised. Just quietly confused because you don't remember buying anything big yet. The money is gone. You tell yourself you should be more disciplined, more careful, more in control. And every time it happens again, you assume the same thing: you must be doing something wrong. But what if the issue isn't discipline at all? What if the reason you keep spending has more to do with how overloaded your days are than with how bad you are with money? This video isn't about budgeting better or pushing yourself harder. It's about understanding the small everyday moments that quietly lead to spending and how to interrupt that pattern in a way that actually works in real life. No strict rules, no guilt, just simple shifts that make money decisions feel lighter and more manageable. If money has started to feel heavy, automatic, or strangely draining, stay with me. This might explain more than you think. Now I believed my problem was discipline. I kept making rules for myself like, this month I won't buy anything. It sounded clear and reasonable, almost reassuring. But in reality, after a few days, sometimes just a few evenings, I'd find myself reaching for my phone, scrolling through shopping apps, looking at things I didn't actually need. Not because I truly wanted them, but because at that point, I didn't want to think anymore. I just wanted the day to end a little faster. After placing the order, there was no excitement, only a familiar sense of discomfort with myself, followed by the same conclusion: I'm not serious enough. It took me a while to see that the issue wasn't really me. It was the fact that I was constantly being triggered to spend. My phone was always within reach. Sale notifications popped up at moments when my head was already full. Promotional emails arrived daily. Repeating the same quiet message, buying something would make things feel easier. In that environment, clicking buy stopped being a conscious choice and became more of an automatic response. So instead of pushing myself harder, I tried a different approach. I stopped trying to fix myself and focused on changing what I was exposed to. I removed shopping apps from my phone, not deleting accounts or banning purchases, just making them less accessible. I turned off sale notifications. I unfollowed accounts that always left me feeling like I was missing something. I didn't expect much, but after a short time I noticed a shift. I wasn't constantly pulled toward buying anymore. What changed most wasn't my spending numbers, but my mental space. I no longer had to argue with myself all day. With fewer triggers around me, decisions felt simpler. And that's when I realized how often shopping had simply been a shortcut out of an overloaded day. Tomorrow I'll be sharing more tips on how to clean up and rearrange your belongings for the new year. Next, the second tip is to stop aiming for a perfect no-spend month and allow yourself a controlled, low-spend instead. For a long time, I thought the only way for this to work was to be strict, no exceptions, no small purchases, no room to bend. On paper, it sounded disciplined. In real life, it created pressure. Every small purchase felt like a failure, and once that line was crossed, it became much easier to give up entirely and tell myself I'd start again next month. What helped was giving myself a clearly defined allowance ahead of time, not as a reward and not as an escape, but as a buffer. A small fixed amount for the week that I could use without questioning or justifying it. Because the decision was already made, I didn't have to negotiate with myself in the moment. There was no guilt, no internal debate, and no spiral afterward. This shift changed how the whole month felt. Instead of constantly monitoring myself, I felt more steady. I wasn't tense about every choice or afraid of slipping up. And interestingly, once the pressure was gone, I often didn't even use the allowance. Knowing I could spend removed the urgency to do so. If you've tried strict rules before and found yourself quitting halfway through, it's not because you lack commitment. It's because rigid systems don't hold up well in real life. A low-spend approach gives you structure without strain, and that balance is what makes it sustainable. Then, to be honest, I spent more money on food simply because I didn't know what I already had at home. I would open the fridge, see a few random items, feel confused and assume there was nothing to eat. That usually led to another grocery run, more takeout, or buying duplicates I didn't need. It wasn't about craving something special, it was about not having a clear view. What actually helped was doing a very simple reset of 3 places: the fridge, the pantry, and the freezer. Not organizing them perfectly, not buying containers, just making everything easy to see. I threw away expired food, moved leftovers to the front, and grouped similar items together. The goal wasn't order, it was visibility. Once I could see what was there, decisions became much easier. I stopped buying the same things again and again. I stopped going to the store just because I felt stuck. Meal planning didn't have to be creative or time-consuming anymore. I could quickly answer the question, what can I eat right now, without stress? This small change had a direct impact on spending. When food decisions were clearer, I didn't feel the need to solve the problem by buying something new. Less confusion meant fewer unnecessary purchases. If your grocery spending feels out of control, start here. Clear visibility in your kitchen removes a lot of friction, and when decisions are easier, spending naturally slows down. Next, frankly speaking, most of the things I felt an urge to buy didn't stay important for very long. The problem was never the item itself, it was the timing. The urge usually showed up when I was already overloaded, late in the day, or mentally done. In those moments, buying something felt like a quick way to end the discomfort. Not a reward, just a shortcut. What changed everything was stopping the habit of saying no immediately and replacing it with a simple delay. Instead of telling myself I couldn't buy something, I told myself I'll check again tomorrow. No bookmarking. No adding to cart. No saving it just in case. I let the idea sit without feeding it. Most of the time, by the next day, the urge was gone. Not because I forced myself to forget, but because it had never been that strong to begin with. It just felt strong in the moment. Giving it 24 hours created space between the feeling and the action, and that space made all the difference. This isn't about willpower, it's about timing. When decisions are delayed, they're made with a clearer head. And when the urge passes on its own, you don't feel deprived, you feel relieved. If you tend to buy impulsively, don't try to resist harder. Just slow the moment down. A short pause is often enough to stop a purchase you never really wanted. Then it is worth noting that one of the biggest mistakes people make during a no-spend or low-spend period is trying to replace spending with more activity. I used to think that if I wasn't shopping, I had to fill that space with something else: new routines, new hobbies, new plans to make the time productive. On the surface, it sounded healthy. But in reality, it added more pressure. For example, I used to believe that if I wasn't buying something, I had to be improving myself somehow. So I started filling my evenings with productive activities, organizing the house, learning a new skill, setting ambitious goals for the next day. It was exhausting. My days were already full of responsibilities and tasks, and adding more just made everything feel heavier. The problem wasn't just that my schedule was overloaded, it was that I expected my free time to be productive. I mistakenly thought that every moment of my day had to be optimized or filled with improvement, and that if I didn't do something meaningful, I wasn't using my time correctly. The pressure to always be doing something led to more stress, not less. And ironically, it also made me more likely to give in to impulses like online shopping. In moments of stress, buying something became a quick way to feel like I had gained control or solved a problem, even if temporarily. What truly helped was allowing my home to be a place where nothing extra was required. I stopped turning evenings into projects or weekends into self-improvement schedules. Instead, I kept things simple. I let myself have quiet time without needing to justify it. I stopped needing to do something with every moment I had at home. Whether it was relaxing with a book, watching a simple show, or even just sitting quietly, I gave myself permission to do nothing. For instance, I began embracing the idea of doing nothing as a form of rest. On weekends, instead of planning activities like yoga, decluttering, or going for a run, I'd just stay home and let myself rest without feeling guilty about it. This small shift made a huge difference. The pressure lifted, and I no longer felt the constant need to compensate for not spending money by being productive. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. When you don't feel pressured to keep doing, you'll notice that you want less. And when you want less, your impulse to buy things or fill space with unnecessary purchases naturally slows down. Not because you're trying hard, but because your environment isn't demanding anything from you. If staying home makes you restless, ask yourself, am I trying to do too much? Sometimes the most supportive environment is one that doesn't ask for anything at all. Instead of filling every quiet moment with a task, allow yourself time to relax and reset. Doing less, in fact, helps you do more because it allows you to focus on what truly matters. Finally, one of the most important shifts I had to make was recognizing that rest isn't a luxury or a reward. It's a decision that quietly affects how I spend. For a long time, I treated rest as something I could earn after everything else was done. But everything else was never really finished. By the end of the day, I wasn't looking for things to buy because I wanted them. I was looking for relief, distraction, or a way to shut my brain off. Spending became an easy exit. When I started taking rest seriously, spending patterns changed without me trying to control them. This didn't mean planning elaborate self-care routines or scheduling more activities. It meant allowing myself to slow down without filling the space. Going to bed earlier instead of scrolling. Sitting in a quiet room without background noise. Letting an evening pass without turning it into something productive or entertaining. At first, this felt uncomfortable. Doing less can feel wrong when you're used to constant input. But over time, I noticed something important. When my nervous system was calmer, I didn't crave quick fixes. I wasn't looking for something to buy to feel better or more settled. Decisions felt easier. Urges felt quieter. This tip matters because many spending habits are not financial problems. They're regulation problems. When your system is overloaded, your wallet takes the hit. Rest reduces that overload. It shortens the gap between impulse and awareness, and it gives you back the ability to choose instead of react. If money has felt heavy or confusing, don't start with stricter rules. Start with rest. When you're better supported, better decisions follow naturally and without force. In conclusion, none of these changes are about becoming stricter with money or trying to fix yourself. They're about changing the conditions around your daily decisions. When you remove spending triggers, allow a small buffer instead of rigid rules, make food visible, pause before buying, stop filling every quiet moment, and give yourself real rest, spending slows down on its own. Not because you forced it to, but because life feels easier to manage. You don't need to apply everything at once. In fact, you shouldn't. Pick one small change that stood out to you and try it for a few days. For example, remove just one shopping app or give yourself a clear weekly allowance or reset your fridge so you can actually see what you have. These small adjustments reduce pressure, and when pressure drops, better decisions become possible. What most people call bad money habits are often just signs of overload. When days are too full and decisions pile up, spending becomes a shortcut. But when your environment is calmer and your pace is slower, that shortcut loses its appeal. If this video helped you see your spending differently, take that as a win. You're not behind, and you're not doing it wrong. You're just learning how to support yourself better. And once you do that, money starts to feel lighter, without needing another challenge or reset. If you found these tips helpful, please share this video and remember to tune in to my next video, where I'll share more ways to clean and rearrange the furniture in the house for the new year. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more useful tips to make your life easier and more organized.